All right, check. So I just made this quick leverage trade, and I just saw a hidden bullish divergence, cup and handle to the upside. And once we got oversold on the 5 minute, I was out. It does say we could continue up to that 200 SMA though. It may take some time, but wouldn't be surprised if we did get to 26,000 in a little bit. But only time will tell. All right, only time will tell. So here's the deal. Let's look at Bitcoin in its entirety and just kind of go back to what I've been talking about and breaking down. Nothing has really changed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, a lot of fear, a lot of dumpage, but that's still a cup and that's still a handle. And the handle could even go further down, right? We don't want to lose this liquidity zone because then we'll gap down to here and that will kind of change the handle and then we'll retest this area. We also have a CME gap at 20,800, which I've talked about, which we could dip on. You know, these are all ideas, but the bigger idea is still intact. What I don't like to see is we did lose the SMA, right? The weekly SMA. However, we didn't close a weekly below it. We got to close that below it. We could easily get wicked back up, and they could just be like this and this. So it's not over till it's over. We have 5 days to see if this weekly candle will close below the 200 SMA, and I'll keep you privy to that. I'll go over probably every single day till I'm blue in the face. So that's cool. All right. Let's break down what I see happening on the big term and the short term, and let's start with the 3-day chart. 3-day chart looks ready for a big move. It really does. Kind of shoulder, head, right shoulder. It's kind of an inverted head and shoulder there on the Stokes. Your RSI is also in this falling wedge. We could likely make a nice pump out. And I just see a move possibly coming here too. So I'm looking for a move on that 3-day chart. Getting held by the 50 3-day or the 50 moving average on the 3-day chart. You can see how it was stopped right there at the 50 moving average, which is interesting too as well. And we're kind of in between the 50 and the 21 in a bit of a range. We also see that with the 50 has crossed these other moving averages, and eventually we see that there seems to be a headlining for the 50 and the 200 SMA, and eventually there's going to be a golden cross. Usually it gets front run, then the price pumps and it follows up. So just, you know, things I've seen in my past that could break us up to the upside. So I still see this cup and handle. Beautiful. My favorite formation. How could I not see that? Sammy, cup and handy, Samuel, cup and handle. All right. And now let's look. We have a resistance at 32,467. And we have another resistance here at 30,800. All right. And then we have what I like to call is the weekly area of supported resistance, but it's kind of a bit of a zone. It starts at about 24,400 and it goes to about, you could say it's like but right there, it's about 24,400 and it begins at about 20,005. But we could go as low as 20,004, 20,003 really and hit this level of liquidity. So we see that's, again, it's been getting front run. The fact that we still didn't hit that area, we tried to go low, but but we're sitting at that 25,800 region, okay? We do have a CME gap, which I would like to show you just by hitting BTC USD and hitting CME and have it waiting for us. I don't believe I've disturbed this since. And there is the gap right there. Just in case people want to know, we'll look at it on the daily. But there's your gap right there. Down to about 20,400 is the space that we're looking at. And, we may come and fill that. You never know. There also, though, which people haven't really talked about, is there's a gap up here at 35,000. And, anything, we could close that gap or that gap. And that'd be a fun Twitter poll. Which gap will we hit first? That's an interesting idea. I might post that to Twitter. But so anyway, just wanted to mention that. I just played this quick little leverage trade to the upside, made a nice gain, came out, called it a day. So here's the deal. We'll take a look at the 3-day chart, which I like, and it's in a good spot for possible accumulation. It also, in my mind, has swing up to swing up while this is starting to swing down. That's a hidden bullish divergence, which tells you that the trend will continue to the upside. You'll make a high higher than this high inside of the divergence. I've played this many times on many time frames, on many different assets, and it has played out. But again, only time will tell. But I wanted to point that out. That is hidden bullish divergence, and anyone can kind of square against me on that, or any analyst or anyone that's been trading for a long time, that is hidden bullish divergence. So that tells us we will make a high higher than the high. All right. Again, as I revisit, the weekly is below the 200 SMA, bearish sign, but it doesn't mean we've closed below it. We could close back above it in 5 days, 22 hours. If you want to find your candles and when they're closed, hit countdown to bar close here. If it's checked off, you won't see anything. If you come and you check it off, this is a hidden menu. If you right-click this bar here and hit countdown to bar close. All right, moving forward. Let's go to the daily time frame. Now, if you watch me too, I was even saying, I mean, top of the channel, bottom of the channel, top of the channel. We were at the top of the channel. Likely you come and test the bottom of the channel. So it wasn't surprising that the daily did this. I kind of, did, that was one, when I was doing my analyzations and doing my, going over the charts, I said, hey, there's a likelihood the daily just comes further to the downside, and we click this bottom channel. The 22 hours getting very oversold for a bit of a bounce, right? The 4 hours very oversold for a bit of a bounce. The 1 hour is attempting to come back up, and that's the hang over here that I'm watching, okay? And what we don't want to see is we don't want to end up making a bit of a bear flag here that stays tough. We want to get this gap right back up. A lot of times when we do get hit this low and this fast, we probably cater back up. We probably make a move back to the upside. It could be an inverted Bart Simpson of types, all right? But there is a bigger move. I mean, if we get more FUD, things start to collapse tomorrow, and we lose this level, we could go lower down to 24,089, and that's that weekly support, which isn't the worst thing in the world because there is support down there, but I just have to bring that up. The smaller time frames will highly likely give you an indication. You'll break down on the 5 or the 7. You'll barely retest this area. You'll see some type of flag, and you'll start the continuation down. That could be your entry for the short. So that's something on my radar. That takes you to 24,005, 24,400. So I just want to put that out there. There's a chance that could happen. We'll be monitoring for you. I'll be talking about it, and I'll be up early in the morning going over the next updates too as well. It's about 10:47 p.m. here on the East Coast in Boston, Mass. All right, so the 4 hour wants to move, the 22, the daily, they all want to bounce back to the upside. I wouldn't be surprised if we got the bounce. We're holding the channel as we should. If we had broken this channel, it would have been far more bearish, but so far we have not. This channel is still intact. I just talked about what could kind of break us to the downside and how it could happen, but even the 1 hour still shows some signs of a move to the upside. All right, we kind of zero in on here and we look at our 15, and our 15 is moving out, but as you can see, we have a resistance that must be broken on the local area. Local is when I'm talking about a smaller time frame and things that need to be kind of challenged. So we have to challenge and get back above 25,867. And then look, we have a beautiful gap in the VRVP. We could move up to the 200 SMA, and we could get to this 26,765 area. So a gap of the VRVP is special, all right? We just got to kind of make some type of more reversal pattern. Right now, we're kind of showing some signs of a bear flag if we can continue into this channel. But it's also got some ascending triangle vibes. And ascending triangles are 50-50 patterns, and it can still break us to the upside. So I'd look for some more sideways price action. Let this thing squiggle on in. And if it can get tighter in the zone, I wouldn't be surprised if we gap up here back to 26,767. That's our update for tonight. We're going to let the dust settle. Obviously, there's a slower moving volume. A lot of people got absolutely liquidated, right? $200 million in liquidations in like less than an hour, half an hour, or something like that. Massive liquidations came. How we were able to figure out that we were going further down than up, if you were watching my channel earlier today, is a liquidation indicator, which shows me where the liquidations are. It shows me where people are sitting on the map and what's happening. And we call this the lifer liquidator. I mean, you could get it by mlapidations, and it's actually free. But I hit the lifer liquidator. I tend to look at it on the 15-minute time frame. I double-click my chart, and I look at all the liquidity zones out here. All right, and give it 1, 2, 3. And you can see earlier today when we were further up, if you were to watch my channel, we could see there was just more consolidation to the downside. If I could find myself here on my live stream earlier today, and shout out to the views, really big live stream today. Appreciate that. With the dumpage, people wanted to see what was happening. But as we were attempting to watch what was going on in the price action, I slapped on the liquidation indicator, and here we are right here when I could find it. And this is me, talking about number one. Also shows us liquidity to the downside. But show me that right there. If these are the liquidation, and you can see that the consolidation of liquidation was further down into this area. That told me it was far likely that the market maker and just the price action would head further down, because that's the 100x longs, the 50x longs, and the 25x longs. These are the, the beige, the green, and I'm slightly colorblind, or cayenne. I can't get it perfect. But from the yellow up are the shorts. That's the 100x shorts, 50x shorts. And so it takes the 100x, the 50x, and the 25x, and it kind of shows you where their liquidation levels are. I could see a high concentration of shorts likely to get liquidated, and that's why I was pointing this to the downside, and it was likelihood that this was going to move down when we even started just a slight bit of bearishness earlier today. This is my channel, this is my live stream from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. every single day. And, I'm not going to say we nailed it, but we basically showed you visually why we were likely going to go to the downside before it really started to take that nasty trickle down. So this is what I'm watching. Oh, back to the regular chart here. So this is what I'm watching again, and you can see there's still a good consolidation of liquidation here that we could still, there's people still attempting to go long now here that may get stopped out one more time to the 24,000 area that just don't believe we could go lower. They're basically hoping we hold the zone. And a lot of people probably don't care. They're just like, you know what, I'll take this trade. If we can stay inside the pattern, we'll go up. If not, I'll get stopped out, and so be it, which isn't the worst way to attack that moment. I would look for the smaller time frame to bearishly retest, and then we go further to the downside. This is a ascending triangle, which is a 50-50 move. So we could start to move down. When this triangle starts to break, that will kind of tell you the move. On the overall bigger idea, it's more likely that the daily channel does break back to the upside. That's just more likely that we break back to the upside here and hit this top channel. I usually do this update for my private group, but today I'm sharing it on YouTube because I know the whole market got rocked, and just people need a little bit of clarity tonight. And so the Lifer wants to give that out. Sam Price, that's me. I'm the Crypto Lifer. Wanted to kind of give this information to you so you can kind of see how we calmly go through the market, how we set up our next ideas, and how we prepare for either move, up or down, and we look for the probabilities in that motion. So it's likely the daily breaks back to the upside here based on just pattern trading logic, that we come back down here to this area, right? Whether we break that or not is another story. A big heavy level of resistance will be 26,600. That's where we had a lot of support, so it's going to take a second to break above that. But it's not that hard to get back through a candle that moved that smooth to the downside. I'm not calling for bullish or bearishness. Usually I give an exact call. The market's a little sketchy right now, and the volume is moving very slow. You can see it's like when someone's in a state of shock. Like, you can feel the kind of shock effect of the markets. We also got the CZ news, and we know that they're going to go hard. They're going to spend $1 billion and more, and they're going to go into litigation with the SEC. Charles Hoskinson is going to jump on in there. XRP might even have a little something here to say. And the XRP case closing too also adds some clarity to this idea. There's a chance it could happen. I could show you myself. Oh, there I am. I don't usually use my camera here, but because I am live, or you're watching this on YouTube, might as well say, how's it going, everybody? Yes, I'm still in a collared shirt. It is 10:53 at night. Can't wait to get off of my standing desk. My feet hurt. I've been watching the markets for so long. So that's my Bitcoin update. The insight that I'm looking at, the smaller time frames. And so we went from the weekly to the 3-day to the daily to the 4-hour to the 15-minute. And I just wanted to kind of keep you up to date with what's happening. I'll also show you Bookmap here, which is an amazing resource. Bookmap is awesome. And if anything, it does show some liquidity down at 25,300, so we could get dragged down there. Again, a lot of people are less likely to jump into a trade right now, but there is more liquidity here on the board. And what do I mean when I say there is more liquidity? There's just more orders down here that want to be filled for buy orders. So 25,003, 25,002, and trickling down a little bit to 25,000. And these are actual Bitcoins on the order book, 700, 357, 500 Bitcoins. Just a little bit more buy orders than sell orders. And usually, when a market maker when a whale puts a huge order up, you tend to gravitate towards it. This big bar of liquidity says we may come down lower to touch that zone. All right. And, but we need more people to kind of start to jump into the market so they can see which direction to take. I could see flatness into tonight. I wouldn't be surprised if we woke up tomorrow with kind of 25.8, somewhere between 25.6 and 25.850 area. And we just kind of range as they wait for kind of what people decide to do tomorrow. So that's your Bitcoin update for the night. I wish you a wonderful night. Like a lot of people were buying into altcoins. We didn't see a lot of FUD and fear. The strong survive here. I bought some more coins on in my DCA bag. I added to my Bitcoin on this dump. And, this is just kind of what you got to do. You got to pay attention to the market and take advantage when the market takes a bit of a beatdown. That's when I like to buy. Red candles are my friend, and you get to do that over time. You fall in love with red candles, and you sell green candles instead of the opposite when you just start out as a trader. So everyone, thank you so much for jumping on in. I appreciate you all. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Know I go live every single day, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., and Saturday and Sunday nights at 8 p.m. I can't wait to see you on the next live stream tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I'll see you there. God bless. Thank you.